All right, y'all. So I'm in a trade currently. I wanted to do a recap. I got rocked today, actually. So I linked up my personal account. I found out how to do it. I actually had to manually enter every trade, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. So as today you can see, negative 819. That is the worst I have done in this personal account. It was rough. I overtraded way too much. Really just destroyed some of my metrics up here. But to go over that with you, so really what I was looking for is the morning. We were up here and I saw that ES had swept London highs and NQ did not, and then this huge dump. I had dropped down to a 1 minute. On the 1 minute in the morning, okay, we had retraced back up to this fair value gap. I entered here and it took a short. We chopped a lot. I moved my, after it got down to here, I thought, okay, there's no way it's going to come back up. I moved my stop. I got stopped out. Just a little bit above in profit. I was like 150 bucks or something, I think. So then it broke down here, and I was like, okay, maybe this is a sweep, and we potentially could go higher. We kept going lower, kept going lower. I saw this break here. I entered right here on this fair value gap, thinking we were going to go higher. Got stopped out, lost all the profits that I made. Plus, I was down like 250. So then I over leveraged was my biggest thing. I was trading with 3 micro contracts with a $2,500 account. That is not a good idea. You should be trading with 1, 2, if you like know what you're doing and you've got decent risk like this here. $48 with 2 contracts for risk with this trade, and I'll show you it and why I'm taking it. That's good risk reward ratio. So I got chopped up a lot in here, basically over trading, over leveraging, getting stopped out with small moves because I was over leveraged. So small moves created a large amount of money accumulation for a loss. So I was getting stopped out in places I shouldn't have been, and so then I finally let the lunch go through here. I traded one more time and lunch got smoked, so I was down 1,200 bucks, which is just rough, really rough. So then what I ended up doing was waited for lunch. I saw this sweep down here. We had this huge move down, and then we came back up, and I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to test this and just drop. So I kind of waited, and as I waited, I could just see price was just like back and forth, right? And it was really slow moving. This is a 1 minute chart, so it's just accumulating right here. On ES comes down and takes this low, and I see that we did not, so we create an SMT here, then we immediately jump up. I'm thinking, okay, we could go higher. Once we ripped up right here, I then entered my position here, and then I rode it out all the way through this, and I took it off right here at this high. So I wrote it off through this, got back some money. I did not over leverage. I traded with 1 contract there, so it wasn't a massive gain. Brought me down to a negative 800 instead of negative 1,200. So, you know, that's still 500 bucks, which my goal was 300 to 500 a day, because with normal contracts that'd be 3 to 5,000 a day. So that's kind of, you know, where the day went. And then now I'm in this position because we had, so let's go up. Well, actually what's cool is, as you can see, so on the daily down here, we have the previous daily high that we probably will go for, but I'm thinking we're going to come lower first before we make our way up there, or we'll leave it and we just dump. tomorrow. We'll see what kind of London brings us. But on the 4-hour, you can see we're in a 4-hour fair value gap here. We still have 50 minutes almost, 49 minutes left before this ends. So this could still, within that 4-hour time frame, come down and then swoop up here, right? But right here, we're basically tapping into a order block on a 1-hour. Okay, we're seeing a good reaction off of it. On top of that, right, it's Asia session, so Asia in the beginning normally creates either the high or low of the day, at least for that session. Sorry. And what happened was it immediately created this and then started to drop. So then I dropped down to a 1 minute, and I saw here at this drop, we swept all these highs right here. Right, all of these highs swept. And then we had a nice change in the state of delivery. So like this is a swing, a low right here, right? So this would be a change in the state of delivery right here. Right? So what I thought is if I enter on this fair value gap, put my stop, I put my stop at the high of the fair value gap. So I actually did get stopped out. If I show you executions, sold here, got stopped out there, sold again immediately right here and right here, right? Because price should not come back up there. Actually, price should not even make its way any further past any of this consolidation. This is a break-even trade if it does not go my way, which is all the way down there. Because there should not, Asia is not normally going to chop here, chop back up. If it chops back up, it's going up. So it's either going to do this and continue much further down to where I have my take profit. Let's get rid of this. Is down here because this is the opening range. Sorry, the new day opening gap. So the candle closed at 4:59 and the candle opened at 6. That's this area. Oops. Right here. Okay. That normally acts as some form of a target for Asia session. Normally Asia session is not this far up when it's starting, because if you were to go back to the other days, you'd be able to see that. But sometimes it is, and that makes for a good trade, right? I could make 193 bucks on this when I was risking 48. Now I'm not risking anything. This is risk free. There's a fair value gap right here. My expectation is this price should not come back up to retest that, because it has moved more than enough away. It came up right here, dropped down. If it comes back up, it should not come all the way up here. If it does, it's like I said, it's moving. You got to think like if you were to put a line, trend line, right? This is a touch point, touch point, touch point. If it's going to follow this trend, it should just continue this trend lower down to this area where there are orders down here that need to be filled, because you can see there's clearly a gap in price, right? You can see a wick, but it hasn't been filled in with a body, which means the orders haven't been fully filled in here. So essentially, if this is going to follow, if it's rolling over here to come down and take this liquidity, it should follow this trend. And it's okay if it comes above it a little bit here, right? That's fine. It's coming back up into that fair value gap right now, as you can see. don't want is we don't want a body close, right? So this wick, that's okay, right? I mean, I probably have this stop a little too close, truthfully. I should just put it at break even. But these wicks are okay. It could even wick up there again on the next candle. That's about to start right now. But it should continue lower if it's planning on going lower. If we're planning on going higher, then this is going to get invalidated. It's going to get ran through. It's going to turn into an inversion fair value gap, and it's going to push price higher, right? Which could very well happen. This could come up and stop me out at break even, and obviously cover commission on this trade, and that's kind of that's trading. That is what it is. I don't feel like price should go and print a closed body candle above the fair value gap. Right, if we look up in here, maybe we do have a volume imbalance, but that was retested almost immediately here. So we could come up and get that. Very possible. But we've tested this one, dropped, tested this one here, it's very small, dropped, came up, tested the volume imbalance here, dropped, had some choppy price, not much, retested the volume imbalance, dropped heavily, created a fair value gap, retested it, dropped, coming up, right, there's no sweep down here either, so this should hold. I wanted to do live though because it's hard for me to trade live. I don't always get the time to because I'm normally not at this home office desk to trade, so I don't have my full setup. But I also wanted to show like what it looks like, you know, when somebody over trades. You know, like if I go back, yeah, perfect. So it is gonna have all of it. Like, look at all this trading today. This is what you call over trading. You know what I mean? Like, took a position here, okay, right, got stopped out, then went short, bought, should have been done for the day right there. Okay, then I traded again. I'm trying to make back a bunch of money that I didn't barely even lost. You know what I mean? Like, I was up on the day there. So it's just, you know, never should have taken this, any of these. We're at 11:20, way past. I don't trade past 11, so I'm already breaking a rule. Look at all this trading right in here. Just, and then this finally, where I come back and redeem myself at the end of the day, but barely. So that's all I was really going to go over was bad days happen, right? $2,500 account starting out, I'm down $1,000 in the account. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm going back to one contract size starting tomorrow until I get back up to 2,500. Then I'll increase to 2 contract sizes, and so on and so forth from there. But bad days do happen. Remember, you know, don't give up. Follow your process, right? Journal, this is very important. If I show you, like, I go in here, look at, like, view details, expand. Okay, I want to see my notes. Look at it. I've got screenshots of everything, information of what happened, what I did, right? All the trades, everything, right? So, very important to do this. Other than that, let's go ahead and see how price act. Okay, so look at that, right? So it almost stopped me out actually. So we've this candle needs to completely dump, or we have invalidated this fair value gap. Okay, so we completely invalidated the fair value gap. I'm going to go ahead and close the position because we are going up. Indeed. And that's it. Proper trade management, right? I was only willing to risk that much because of the loss that I had, so it brings my loss in the account now, $894.50. So we're sitting at $1,200. We will look to trade tomorrow. We have everything marked out: previous daily high, previous daily low. Okay, 4-hour highs and hourly highs and lows. Nothing to mark yet. So we will see what happens tomorrow for the morning session. My expectation is if we continue lower down here, then we may continue lower to take out the liquidity that's all down here, right? Not quite that low, but previously daily low. If we continue up from here, and London comes up and takes out this high, then we'll probably go for the buy side up here and the previously monthly high, because there's a lot of liquidity on ES up there as well. Equal highs, mind you. So that's my expectations. News tomorrow, 8:30 unemployment claims, 9:45 PMI, so be mindful of that if you're trading. Till then, we'll see you next time.